unedited, tell the truth, and shame the devil. I love being black. All right, this is your boy Martin G, aka the Crime Chaser. I am live, uncut, and unedited. This is where we tell the truth and shame the devil. Chicago, look again. Basically, we're going over the news. We had some good news. Our Bears won tonight. I didn't even know they was playing. Just show you how much I was following them. But we don't really do sports on here anyway. But we got a lot going on in the city council. We got a lot going on with the young people jumping on adult over there on 107 on the southeast side. So I'm hearing that they've been charged. So it's a lot going on in our community here in the city of Chicago. The whole world is watching us. The whole world is watching us, and we got a lot going on. It's good to be back on here again, people. I miss being on here live, uncut, unedited. As you know, I'm working, so it takes out a lot of my time, and, I would just love to be on here just to, to say something, but sometimes the body need rest. You gotta do what the body say, but I appreciate you guys for coming on here today. I'm excited to be living in the land of the living. It's a good time to be living. We living in a good time of day, a good time in history. All things are being revealed. The things that they used to do, they can't get away with no more. When the police used to knock us upside the head and there were no cameras and no body cameras, there wasn't no pod cameras and wasn't no phone video cameras, they can't do that anymore. Real talk. The Democrats can't lie to us no more because we've been educated now. We know what's going on. The Republicans can't lie to us anymore. We see everything for what it is now. And we should not be giving our vote away at all. And this is just my opinion. I was talking to Jessica today, and I was saying, Jessica, we should have people on both sides, red and blue. And either party should not be able to predict which way we're going to vote. It should be like that. And I believe it should be a balance here. Not one party dominating the city of Chicago. A balance. And I believe it too. There's too much going on. And we giving our vote away and we get nothing for it. Maybe a street named after us, maybe a school or something, maybe a statue, but we get no policies. Everybody around us is getting policies, getting money, getting resources, except the people that look like us. Now, a few of us are getting, a few politicians, a few community activists getting paid, a few pastors getting paid, but that doesn't suffice for the rest of us. And the rest of us getting left behind. And that's real talk. And I'm disappointed in our mayor. As you know, I voted for him. I supported him. He came right on this podcast and I interviewed him and everything. But he didn't look out for his people. He didn't look out for his people. Maybe he looked out for a few pastors, a few activists or something, or a politician, but not for the mass of the people. And the people out here, they're dying. They're dying silently. Some people don't know how to express themselves. When are either party gonna give us something to vote for? We need something to vote for. And black people, I'm talking to the black young people, you can make the difference. You said, well, what are you talking about, Martin? A lot of old people, such as myself, we're stuck in our ways. We're going to vote blue no matter who. We're going to vote on color no matter what. I don't care what you tell us. Some of us are like that. Real talk. And we're going to go with the most popular name. If it's a Jackson, if it's a Jordan, if it's a Jones, is it, a Martin, we're going to go and we're going to punch. We got the judges here in the city of Chicago, Cook County, making up their own law when they feel like it. We got that. Now we are approaching another year. We probably exactly 10, 11 days away. And we're gonna be in a new year. We're gonna be in a new year, people. Are we gonna take those old habits that we're doing right now into the new year and doing the same thing? Are we gonna demand something for our vote instead of just a handshake and a photo op? That's what a lot of us do. We so happy to sit at the table with the white folks, but we get nothing out of them. Listen, don't be no fool, people. We all know who's getting the resources here in the city of Chicago, and it's not the black people. Everybody is getting resources, plenty of resources, with the exception of black people. Maybe a few of us, but the majority of us, we're not getting nothing. All of a sudden, in the most populated area that black people live at, they got the highest taxes. And we got 20 aldermen, men and women, in the office. Come on, somebody knows something. Well, you say, well, Martin, you say, well, they had nothing to do with our taxes. Oh, they had a whole lot to do with our taxes. It's called power influence. Trust me, I can imagine all these politicians getting in one room and make a decision for our lives. And that's why I can't understand how some of these religious folks don't vote. Y'all don't vote. Your pastor tell you not to vote. I don't understand that. Why not participate in the political process? The politicians, the lawmakers, the policymakers, they are making decisions that can affect us. And that's real talk. Black people, this is what I noticed from doing like protests and stuff like that. We be mad for about 7 to 10 days. Out of that, we go on back to normal, everything back to normal. It's almost like a little kid go in there and tie his room up, make all that noise and all that. Then his daddy or his mother come up there now. When you get through tying that room, make sure before you come out, you better have that room clean. And you can hear the little kid sniffing and crying and mad and straightening up everything to bed and sweeping up and all that. Straighten that room right back up. And I'm giving the same comparison to black folks. We be mad for 2 days. And after that, we back to normal. I remember when the migrants first came here. They first came here. When the migrants came here, people was running blankets over there to them, clothes, food, and all that. But when black people found out the amount of resources and money that they was getting, black people didn't like that. They didn't like that. All that God stuff in them, it went away. They be like, hold on. We've been here all our lives, and we ain't getting nothing, and they getting all the stuff. Black folks didn't like that. White folks either. They didn't like that. So now, where are those same black folks that allowed the migrants, the illegals, to come in their homes and you fed them and you got their rent money? Now it's hard for you to get them out. You was feeling sympathy for them, and now the money has ran out. It's going to start back up again for them, and y'all going to be right back again, right up under the mayor. Hey, I got a vacant building over here on 66 and Normal, and I could take in about 20 clients, 20 immigrants and migrants. I can see you now. You're up there petition, sending word through the ministers. Oh, I can see you now. See, I learned in this life, those that are real popular and very voice, if you give them a few dollars, they're gonna be quiet. They're gonna be quiet. They're gonna be quiet. I learned it. I see some activists, and y'all know who I'm talking about. I wouldn't dare mention no name. If the shoe fit, wear it. If it don't apply, let it fly. I've seen some activists on fire, but when they start getting their hand on that money, they got quiet. Politicians too, preachers too. They get quiet. It's like a holiness preacher. He preaching holiness of hell. All of a sudden, he get a little money now. Get a little sophisticated. Oh, I don't see it like that no more. God love everybody. We accept everybody. Y'all know I'm telling it right now. So we got a lot going on in the city council here. We got the young people that beat up, I think the 10 and 13-year-olds that beat up the mother with her 2 children. I think she had 3. Beat her up over there on 107. So they're going to charge. I think they have charged them already. We're not going to show the video because they're minors. We're not going to show the video. So that's what's in the news. So you got to think about every teenager or young person that got charged. I mean, it's not going to be, it's like it's not going to affect them when they grow up. They're minor. They let carjackers out. If a teenager carjack you today or tomorrow, they'll be out the next day or maybe the same day, even though they pulled a pistol on you. They minors. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Real talk. Congratulations to the Chicago Bears. They pulled it off. It was a thriller at the end, OT. Basically, people, we're just talking about Chicago. Look again. Now let's look back, people. This has been, we're in the 12th and the final month of this year. A lot of us, we have lost loved ones. Some of us has been sick. Some of us, this is our first Thanksgiving without our mother and father or our spouse. This is going to be our first Christmas without our spouses or mother or father. Real talk. And I always say that around this time is a very depressing time for a lot of people. For those of you that been adopted, you love your adopted family, but it's nothing like your own biological family. Get to know. That's just oppression to me, not what depression. Those of you that's in the penitentiary right now, that's feeling all messed up, and you're not blaming nobody because you there. You took full responsibility, but it get a little lonely around the holiday season. Then you get to wondering back in your mind like, man, I remember that first Christmas that I remember. Now you got to serve, you got to be in prison for the next 20 Christmas now. Unless an act of God come and you get out. Well, we're dealing with people, we're dealing with crisis. We're dealing with people about to lose their homes. We're dealing with people that that's about to get a rent increase next month. When they get that $100 or that $200 or that $300 or that $500 increase, they're going to say, oh, Lord, what I'm going to do now? And what I'm thinking about the seniors, those seniors that's on a fixed income, that's usually paying a certain amount of taxes. Now that it's almost like they got another mortgage and the building been paid for years because the taxes have increased. And one thing I can say about Mark Carter, Y'all can say he cussed too much. Yeah, he probably do, but the man know the seriousness of us losing our homes. I don't expect nobody to be all nice and sanctimonious if they losing their home. I expect them to be upset. I expect them to cry loud and spare not. That's what I expect. I don't want to hear them say, oh, this just the old Democratic way. Taxes going to go up. You know when Democrats in that. No, I want us to lift up our voices and be counted. Don't let this die down, because some of you are going to lose your homes. I'm telling you, people, you're going to be outdoors. This home that you bought, your home is going to get taken away. And we don't want that to happen. Don't you know home ownership is the pathway to having wealth in this country? That's one of the ways to have money, through home ownership. Real talk. I appreciate y'all on him in the late midnight. Listen, I almost didn't come on, but I said, I'm come on. I ain't been on in 3 days. I'll be throwing up a little video here and there. So we want to congratulate the Bears. We want to congratulate the Flip Red. They down there putting pressure on the city council, on the county board. We want to thank them. We want to thank for CPD bringing charges on the young people that stomped the lady out, because the only reason I believe that this charge is because it's a public outcry. Another case was the case of Romika, that case too. That would have been water under the bridge if the family had not went down there, protest, and Tia Ewing been on that case, putting pressure on that. So you listen, people. Chicago Flip Red, I'm not a Republican, but I will say this. I give you guys your props, y'all props, because y'all down there making some noise and getting results low key. A lot of people don't think, they think y'all just down there yelling, screaming, hollering, and cussing out, but y'all making some noise. Y'all made so much noise that Donald Trump mentioned the ladies in the red, all in the red and with hats. That's how much noise y'all making. So don't let nobody cool y'all off. Keep pushing. This is America. You have the right to be a Republican. You have a right to be a Democrat. I always say, whatever side that you choose, make sure you go all out to represent your people that look like yourself. Real talk. And remember, in politics, there are no permanent enemies. That's the golden rule. That is the golden rule. Real talk. Real talk. I appreciate y'all being on here tonight, and we're going to take some calls. Let me make sure. I think I got a caller just called in. Make sure I'm able to hear him. This is real. Some of y'all don't believe that Cook County
has joined.
Can turn red. It can turn red. Trust me. If them Republicans start putting money here in Cook County, you'll see a whole lot of changes. And I guarantee you, some of you that are blue, you'll flip red so fast if you can get some money out of the Republicans. I know it. Know it. As Jessica say, Republican by day and Democrat at night, huh? I had to say that. I love to hear her say that. I love to hear her say that. So people, we living in a good day and time. We living in the information age. We can find out things through information. But we got to want it, people. A lot of us, we're too lazy to read. We don't want to read. We rely on other people, and we're trusting other people to read for us. We have to read, people. And I'm not talking about these old freaky Facebook posters and all that. Uneducated posters. I'm talking about booty clapping and all that. No, that's nothing. I'm talking about reading something that's going to enhance our knowledge and take us to the next level. I'm telling y'all, people, I'm going to the next level. And whoever ain't rolling with me, I'm rolling right over them, period. And you should have the same mentality. We're going to the next level. I'm not going into the new year with all this old baggage. I'm keeping it real. I don't know what I'm going to face in 2026. But I'm asking God to give me grace, give me understanding, give me strength. I always pray, God, give me strength as of 1,000 men and give me understanding as a nation. I want to be great. And if I want to be great, I heard that Jesus tell the disciples, he that is great among you, let him be the servant at all. I have to be a servant. I have to serve you. Not wanting to be served, but I have to serve you. If you want to be great in this life, you got to be a servant. Not a slave, a servant. So again, we want to thank Chicago Flip Red. We want to thank CPD for bringing out the charges. We want to thank Romika family for keeping their foot on the murder of their sister, auntie, cousin, friend. That's what they've done. They kept it. You know, I still say I didn't really go into detail about the case, but in my hearts of hearts, I didn't believe that Romika deserved to be shot and killed. I didn't believe that. That I was totally against that. I was definitely against that. Definitely. And I'm an honest person. I can say that in public. I really can. So I'm thinking, people, about our mayor of the city of Chicago. What is it that he's going to do? I'm telling you, we're going to see. We're going to take a caller. Come on, caller. 9433.
Hey, Martin. How you doing? Well, life has been lifing on everybody. I know it really has been on me. I just got a place to stay. I've been homeless, and through my 25, God has really showed me who's there for me and who's not. As far as them kids being charged, I think that the parents needed to take some. I think the parents should have put some type of accountability for that.
Okay.
But like I say, life been lifing on everybody, and it's just a lesson learned to them now. So they didn't learn the lesson. They didn't been charged, and like you say, they minors, but we can't keep throwing it up. We can't keep throwing that up right up in their face. And I think their parents need to be a role model, because your kids mark you on what you do. Your kids see what you do also. As far as Brandon Johnson, he's a total disgrace to me, because I was working in one of the shelters, and I think all the money that they was giving them, all the food stamps they was giving us, them, and they weren't really worried about us. It's like they got the money. Now they want the taxpayers to replenish the money. And that's really sad.
Okay. Chicago, look again.
Okay?
Yeah, I hear you. Let me say this.
Yeah.
They're minors, people, so it's not like they're going to. Okay, people, let me just say something. I don't see people in the city of Chicago. I'm not saying it never happened. Raising hell the way they was raising hell about those teenagers beating up their parent. Now you got to think about it. It was a sad situation, but everybody went home. Did nobody get seriously hurt or did nobody die? But when somebody die and get killed, everybody's quiet and silent. And I'm like, okay, here's a lady get beat up, stomped down by some little teenagers, 8th graders and 7th graders, 6th graders. And everybody go crazy. And they should. But here's a young man that get killed downtown, 14 years old. Nobody says anything. They're quiet. Are we backwards or what, people? Or is it that when murder happens, we expect that? That's just normal. That's what it could be. But what we witnessed on that videotape when them young people stomped that lady out, that's not normal. So that's why I'm saying in my mind, that's where the outrage come from. But we're not outraged when a young person gets shot and killed. It should be that same outrage. Again, I call it fake pain. Now, for the last couple of weeks, we didn't hear too much about this young lady getting beat up by these teenagers. Once the media get through hyping it up, it go away. And everybody go back to normal, doing a normal thing. Are we really concerned? Chicago, look again. Are we really concerned about what's going on around us? Are we really concerned about what's going on down in City Hall? Somebody said, well, Martin, I work at the daytime. I don't have no time to go down. And I understand that. I'm just asking, are you really concerned about what's going on down in City Hall? Do you care about the local politics? Are you concerned about property taxes? Are you concerned about the red line? Are you concerned about these potholes? Are you concerned? That's what I'm asking. And some of you that's listening to me tonight, you ain't nothing but a keyboard warrior. You're not going to go downtown. You're not going to share a video. You're not going to look at it on the news, but all you're going to do is complain. This ain't this, this ain't that. Now, again, I said it public and I'm going to say it again tonight. I'm not mad at no migrant that came over and got some of them free resources because they opened the door for them. And if I probably was in this situation they was in, I probably would be the same way, be right over it with them. Getting all these free resources. Period. Black folks, we don't run nothing. But we pay taxes. But we don't run nothing. Because you know, if it was left up to us, when one migrant or illegal immigrant, if you want to call them, unauthorized or undocumented, would be in our community. And you know that, and I know that. With all the trouble that we have in our community already, gangs, drugs, prostitution, shootings, carjacking. We have that element right here in our communities. For anybody say that they don't see racism with these property taxes, that means you blind, you're ignorant, and you don't want to know what's going on. You're afraid to fight. You got 3 of these communities got the highest property taxes. And some of them are some of the poorest out of the 77 communities. What is the median income for Inglewood? What is the median income for some parts of Woodlawn, North Lawndale? Now think about this, people. Isn't it mighty strange that since the migrants is here and they're making, they don't have to get shots, everything that they told us to do, our black homeless men were sleeping in the police station. They had to come in at a certain time of day, at night, then leave early in the morning. But they allowed the migrants to stay 24 hours a day in there. Black people, aren't you tired of being told to go back to the bus, back of the bus? Are you tired of being told that we don't know how to do business? Are you been tired of being told that we can't stick together? Are you been tired of hearing that we're lazy? We don't want to do no work? Listen, there's an old saying that says, if you hear and say something long enough, people will start believing it. They have put that propaganda out there on black folks. Like we all lazy, we don't want to do nothing. Our men don't want to marry. Our women don't want to marry. They put all that propaganda on us out here. We gangbangers. We fatherless. We shoot and kill people for no reason. All these things that they put on us. I remember one time on this show, I'm not going to mention the person's name, but I don't know their name like that. But they didn't believe that we had more black men in colleges than we had in prison. They didn't believe that. They insight for black men is real bad. They didn't believe that we have more black men in college than we have in prison. That's just too right. It's just too good to be true. See, that's how brainwashed we have. If you go to a gun store, and those of you that conceal and carry or have a FOID card, you go to a gun store and purchase a gun. And if you got in your mind to kill another black person only, you've been brainwashed. You've been brainwashed. Martin, I thought you for the community. You believe in? Yes, I believe in guns. I believe that every household should have one where you can protect yourself. That's real talk. That's my belief. I believe that cats got claws, birds got wings, dogs got teeth to bite. Why can't we defend ourselves? Real talk. There's a lot going on here in the city, Windy City. All right, we're going to take some more calls, y'all. 872-299-0808. 872-299-0808 or 872-297-6389. We got another caller calling in. And see, I believe in black people. Now, I can't believe in all of us, but I believe that it's more than enough that's out there doing the right thing about their family, their friends, on the job, out in the streets, at church, doing the right thing.
Right.
Oh, yeah, we got old timer.
Can I say something else?
Yeah, real quick. Real quick. Go ahead. Okay.
If you do right, God gonna always take care of you. He gonna always take care of you. But if you do wrong, karma always come back too.
Okay.
In full force.
All right, thank you for that. I like this word. Miss Marissa put up the selective outrage, and that's what we have in the black community. We pick and choose what we want to be outraged about.
Hey, everyone. How's it going?
All right, we got a couple of calls. Come on, old timer. I think that's you. Yeah, 4093. Come on.
Yes, sir. I hear you. And, well, I mean, we have some issues that we have addressed in the very ones that you're talking about. You know, we seem to show up and show out when we have, you know, the situation that happened with the lady. But we have much more serious issues that have to be given the same fervor.
I agree.
And being there, but you know, I maintain the smaller things. You know, like there's a scripture in the Bible says, "There's the little foxes that destroy the vine."
Yes, sir.
As long as we kind of, you know, going against ourselves, you know, people probably gonna continue to let us do that. Now, you look at all of the migrants, all of them on the same page. You don't see. You heard some people, very small selection of some, and we really have to doubt really what they were saying when they were saying, well, I agree that they should go back and it should come like my parents did. They saying that, but all the time, they're yet keeping the people here. They have to say that, you know, just like Germans say it. You know, Finnish people say it. Slovenians say it. Well, you know, my people, they came the right way. So they're going to get some of the Mexicans to say that kind of stuff. But at the same time, those same people that saying that know that these other people have been here all the time working because they just show up in their communities and they don't go and say, well, you need to get these people out of here. You got people taking over the community. You got 7 people living in the apartment. You don't see them saying that. So they really just saying some idle words to try to pacify maybe us. And once they find out that we is not supposedly on board with them, you know, at that point they really don't care because they got work for their people to do, and the work that they have for them to do is to help the people that's already here, help them put on roofs, help them put on with the grass cutting, with the snow removal. They come here with the people say, man, I need you. I need my cousin to get him from the cold over there to here. Some kind of way, I got to pay that $700 to get him over here. And once I get him here, then, you know, we got all that, the rest of it taken care of. They're not really fighting that. Now, what we're fighting, we fighting reparations. Oh, you know, we don't need it. You know, what we going to do with it? How they going to do it? You can't get us to agree on the same page. You can't get us to, now they're giving reparations out right now. They got it scheduled to give out there in San Francisco.
True.
They got it set up so where they can give people the money. Now, there's no reason, and saying you can, and I'm a preacher myself now, but I tell you like this here, you got to watch what people in the church say, and I don't mean for nobody to take this the wrong way, but if you got preachers getting paid all the time, bro, they get their reparations. They get money all the time. See, so they ain't worried about getting out there trying to get no reparations because they getting paid. They get paid for a whole lot of other stuff, and people just give them stuff. But for the regular person, all of us need to get paid. They can pay this thing through many ways, man. They can pay it through housing vouchers to take away your mortgage, which you owe 80,000 and 100,000 on. They can wipe all that debt free clean. They can do it if they want to, and then the money that you taking given to the loan company, that money can be used to stimulate the economy. We can have money to be able to do things, but you can't get us to be on that same page, and everybody is not together, and it's really start from the top of our people.
Okay.
And all of us should be able to say the same thing.
Hold it right there. I want to. Somebody wrote some in the message. Got 5 on it too. This program is all talk and no action. Stop wasting your energy. Call in. Give us some solutions. Let's see what you about. Call in. Give us some solutions. And how do you solve a problem without discussing it? That's what I don't understand. You have to, if you're trying to work a problem out, we'll just say, if you're trying to work out a problem, a multiplication, you got to work it out and come to and get the answer. So you have to have a discussion about the problem. That has to be an investigation. Well, maybe you call in, whoever you are, 872-299-0808. I'll take your call before everybody's. Come on, got 5 on it. 2. Call in, give us some solutions. You might have all the answers that we need on this live. I'm willing to listen to it too. I'd like to know what you're doing to help us out. I had to say that, brother. Let me go to the next caller. I'll come back to the old time. 609 area code. Come on, dear sister. Dear sister, come on.
Hey, everyone. Happy holiday.
Happy holiday.
I wanted to say to you that I miss your voice. I worry about you. I say prayers. I ain't here a couple of days and I haven't seen, prayers out to you. You got to be around a long time. And another thing I wanted to say is that basically I know my voice. It's 2 pictures that I sent on Facebook. And to show you that the kind of woman I am, you can get a little definition of who I am. And the next thing that I wanted to say, what's really, truly disturbed me, which is though I've been feeling it, this is another big slap in the face. I was reading on, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the guy named Benny Johnson. And he is, he's a creator and, he's pretty big. What disturbed me, they came out today, the DOJ, they had put in a special policy for all white men, not females, all white men. And it's to compensate them. This is a new representation. I know our Black people, this is really slap in the face from the immigration, everything down the line. Everybody got everything. Now, at this time, why would you do this? I know it's a big test. And I looked at it, and it's like they are filing claims and on there, it's like big money. Because they are genocide because it's a small population with the white race, which is because the most, I'm going to say this is my personal observation. The white men, most of their women are going to Black, Hispanic men, and they are embarrassed. So they're saying it's genocide. They're not making babies. So they feel as though they're overpopulated. And I was looking at this thing very deep, and I said, whoa, this is going to be a big thing for our Black community because we've been fighting for reparation. They brought the immigrants. They took advantage of that. And I said, this is all we needed. And then Trump, I had a little kind of respect, not as much because he's not Black and I'm pro-Black. But I felt a certain way that maybe down the line, he will come and do something. So I said, now we're going to see. This bill just came out, and I was looking at it, and it's only for white men. They said they've been been treated as racist, all of the supremacies, all these type of things that suffered through the DEI, which is though that was for black and white and Hispanic. And the white men, where so they lost a lot of job, compensation, and they want to put this money together so they'll be able to have babies and have a family. So this disturbed me. I'm not going to give how I really observe it, but this is going to be something very challenging in our black community. It's another slap in the face. And I was watching, I said, whoa, I can't really say what I want to say, but it is, whoa, it's breathtaking. And I'm going to try to like turn this down. I got one more thing to say. You are definitely on Santa's list, but you will not get your gift because I have grandkids or whatever, and you will get it before New Year's. But you won't get it on Christmas or before Christmas, but you have a gift. You on a Santa list, and you know, you're doing some great things. And then I sent, I don't know if you look on Facebook, you'll see 2 pictures of this woman, and you'll see, I didn't even message or anything like that, just to let you know that the voice doesn't match the face, and you'll see that. And I'll land that with that, but I just want y'all to look it up. It's his name on YouTube, Benny Johnson. He's very popular, and his new bill that just came up for white man only.
Okay, we're going to go to the next call. Okay, thank you for that. Come on, next caller. 9449.
Hi, Martin. This is Marcus.
Hey, Mr. Marcus.
I believe you mentioned something earlier about why black people, maybe you didn't mention it this way, but from what I got, why black people are down on each other. I think that, this is my opinion, we have seen too much of us in the news doing bad things. And certain stuff like when the teenagers are downtown, they don't show the white teenagers that be down there wilding out, because they be down there wilding out too. It'd be a mixture of teens. When something happens, it's always the black people in the camera. And if the trick of the camera can mess with your mind, it'll make you believe that lie. But most of us ought to know better, and we should know how the white media portray us to brainwash us. Why don't we unify? Why are we against, some of us are against reparations? We should all be for reparations. And it's nobody's business what somebody does with their money. It's going back to America. So it's not like America is going to lose anything, because what are we going to go do? A lot of us are going to go spend that money. How we spend it is nobody's business, but it's going back to the government that's supposed to give us reparations.
Marcus.
They're giving everybody else reparations.
Marcus,
right?
hold it, Marcus. Benjamin, he says, I'm out here by San Francisco. They are not giving out reparation in the form of money. They are substituting it with education programs. It's a lie, but they are giving out reparations to illegal immigrants that ain't been here 2 years and got more than black folks. Wow. That's what he said. Hold on, more than black folks in 200 years. It's a lie, old timer. It's all show. Okay, go ahead. He had made that comment. I wanted to go ahead, Marcus. I'm sorry. I had to read that.
So basically what I'm saying is that's another thing. I mean, why they got to study? Why they got to do a study? They got to spend money to do a study. You owe us. Just pay us. Our people built this country. We built it by force, not by choice. We built it. We built the White House. We built every square inch of America and couldn't even go on some of the beaches. Couldn't even go in some of the parks. So why don't you just pay us? Why all this studying? All this, how much more studying do you need? It's going to go right back to the government if you pay us in money. But somebody said it just maybe a call or two ago said it, that, hey, eliminate the mortgage on the housing. As a matter of fact, I go so far as to say, you want to help black people? give us a house. Who wants to pay rent for the rest of their life? And let us build off of that. Give us some land. Let us build off of that. But you paying everybody else money. Why can't you pay us money? They don't want to acknowledge what they did to us as wrong. In fact, they want to erase what they did to us. And they're still doing it to us. These private prisons, that's nothing but modern day slavery. They're not trying to stop the crime, Martin. They want crime to happen so they can lock up Black people and put them in these private jails. These private organizations are suing these states because the jails are not filling up fast enough for them. This is slavery. We're still living in a slave state, just in a different way. It's hidden. It's candy coated to make it look like it's punishment. But they will lock us up. They will lock you up on the expired license plates. Come on. You ain't hit and killed nobody, but they'll lock you up on that. But it takes them forever to catch a carjacker. Oh, and another thing, if somebody's breaking in your house and your alarm go off or you dial 911, it takes the police. You would think that they would come right away. No, it takes them 30 minutes. So what's the use? America, enough with the studying. Pay what you owe us. We built this country. Black people who are against it, I feel sorry for you, because every Black person in America ought to be for reparations. These migrants are hollering about money that they didn't earn, and the people that's over here legally is standing up for them. Why can't we stand up for our people? Why is it racism when we stand up for our people, when we mention just Black people, not brown, but just Black people? One thing about Harold Washington, when he came into office, he was for Black people first. He made that perfectly clear.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll land it right there.
All right. Next caller, 3268.
What's going on, Martin?
Hey, Mr. Roosevelt.
How are you?
Great.
Well, first of all, happy holidays to you and the rest of the panel. Marcus, all y'all are sitting on this call. Oh, man, Marcus stole a little bit of my thunder. I mean, my whole thing is I agree with him and agree with many other people on here to just think that, I mean, you know, you have to let's just cut through all the crap. You know, a debt is owed. You know, all the stuff that our ancestors went through in slavery. Then after slavery is over, then you had Jim Crow. Then you had redlining. Then you had vagrancy laws. And then you had inequities, unequalness in the justice system, unequalness in the healthcare system. And sometimes what just angers me is what happened to me 5 years ago in my own home church at the time when the COVID vaccine came out. They were really trying to push this to Black people. They weren't making this push to any other kind of community except Black people, knowing what Black people have been through before with the Tuskegee experiment and, you know, the Henrietta Lacks experiment. You know, we were always the guinea pigs, and so many stupid, ignorant, hell-bound, hell-deserving Black people went along with it, like my church, my former church denomination, which is the CME Church. For many of y'all who don't know what that is, that's the Christian Methodist Episcopal Church. AME went along with it, AME Zion, certain churches of God in Christ, Full Gospel Baptist, as stupid as they were. And these are denominations that basically serve Black people, but they got Black pastors to all agree to get their congregations vaccinated, knowing what Black people have been through before. And sometimes, Martin, I got to echo sometimes what you had, I don't know if you remember this, but you said something a long time ago. You said because of what we have gone through, that whenever the government or the system or whoever presents us with something, we need to look at everything like Doubting Thomas.
That's right.
Because the country never ever made they never made it the whole thing right about the Tuskegee experiment. They never made the whole thing right with, you know, feeding our ancestors' babies to alligators. They never made it right with slavery. They never made it right with Jim Crow laws. But yet you want me
Tell
to
the
believe,
truth
or anyone
and
to believe,
shame the devil.
that just because there was a so-called pandemic out there, and really the pandemic was more the vaccine, and now you come up with a so-called vaccine for Black people to be stupid enough to go and trust it, or that we should trust it, when it's the same system that is giving the cures, the same system that put us behind the 8 ball in the first place, but we go into the same system to give us this vaccine and to stop the problem. Don't be a fool. But Black people are always so trusting and everything, and it's like what you said. We always have an instance of, temporary amnesia. They forgot about all the stuff that was done before, and how they're really trying to push this to Black people. My mother never even took it, because she said and stuff that no, they're a little bit too anxious for Black people to take it. Because they weren't pushing this to white people. They weren't pushing this to Latinos. They weren't definitely not pushing this to Asians. They were coming into Black churches. They weren't going to the Arab mosque. They weren't going to the Asian Buddhist temple or the Indian Hindu temple. No, they were pushing this among Black churches, the denominations I just mentioned. So she said, anytime yes, Marcus. Sorry.
Can I help
I'm
you
sorry,
out?
Marcus. Yeah. Huh?
Can I help you out? They told my mother, UIC told my mother that she had COVID. And I said, no, you don't. You ain't been outside to catch it. And she didn't believe it. So she called the hospital and told them, no, I'm not coming in because I don't have it and ain't nobody in my house got it. So 2 days later, they called her back and said there was a mistake made. You don't have it. I said, that's how they get Black people to go in there. And they was giving it to them. You're right. Why should we trust this government on anything? They kill Black people in hospitals every day. I'm not telling people don't go to the doctor, but be careful. Get a third opinion.
And my whole thing is, at the time, why so many Black churches and Black pastors? That's why it's my former church denomination. Go for it all. I just don't get it. It is the same. I had to even leave that particular church and go into a church where they had different types of thinking or whatever, and just didn't think like that. I mean, and these are Black people doing this stuff. These are whites or white police officers or people who we complain about. These are Black people doing this to even other Black people. And, being in church and stuff just because you didn't take it and everything. Other Black people, treating you like crap and all this other kind of stuff. Some of this kind of stuff came from your own people. So, and the thing is, we turn so much against each other because it's also through media. Because a whole lot of people, they were being indoctrinated. Black people were being indoctrinated through media. Because anytime not you, but the governor and, this Dr. NZK was, every single day on the phone or on TV every day at 2:30 giving an update as to what's going on with the whole COVID-19. No, that's not information. That is indoctrination. And many Black people believed it. So therefore, anytime there's something Black people believe it, they'll instantly turn on other people who don't believe it. It's like the whole thing with reparations. Many people like me or Marcus or maybe even you, Martin, believe in reparations, but you got some other Black people, like one of my best friends, love her with the love of Jesus. Trust me, I really, really do. She'll be in town from Texas for my birthday on Monday. It's like one of the main people in life, I could definitely say, who's never disappointed me. But we do disagree on this kind of topic. Because she doesn't think that Black people should have reparations. She said the only thing Black people are going to do is go and waste their money. I just said, well, that's on them. Because at least one good thing about it is what Marcus said, at least it's going back into the economy. So it should be upbuilding and stimulate the economy. But this is what some people don't see, because there's just many people out here there, I don't care what color they are, even some of our own who don't think that we should have and deserve nothing.
Bro,
And I think it's a shame.
come on, man. Now, look, I've been listening. Now, about 90% of the stuff that you say, I think is respectfully that is wrong. Now, I'm telling you,
dude, really?
Okay, let me tell you this.
Really?
I worked. Let me tell you something. I worked for one of the largest manufacturing companies in the world, right here in Illinois, AbbVie Labs. I worked there 47 years. And what you're saying is not true. That COVID, about the COVID. The COVID, you could not at the laboratory, if you did not take the vaccination, this is some of my white people. you could not come to work. You did not work there. If your temperature was over a certain degree, now I was off work for 18 days, and I had never in my life, never been put in my house. Let me tell you something, brother. I had diarrhea. I didn't even want to tell my wife that my temperature was 107 degrees. I kept it. I was fighting for my life. I couldn't go to the hospital. I couldn't stop coughing. The cough was dry. I had the diarrhea. I had to force myself to eat because my appetite was gone. And my wife was pretty much in the same position. Both of us was in the same position. And brother, I had to pray like never before because I was really on my way out of here. And so many of my friends, they just died. They just died. So many of my colleagues from the church, they just went on and died because the church people were so hard-headed. They want to congregate together anyway. But let me tell you at the laboratory.
Because that's the time. Because that's the time when you need the Lord.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, we need the Lord all the time. But look, they purposely they went into the locker rooms. They separated the locker rooms. They went into the lounges. You couldn't have two seats together. You couldn't have over 6 people in the lounge at the same time. They did all they could to fight that COVID disease because, man, you know for yourself, you ain't never seen that many people dying around the world. I don't even know why you would get on the radio, on the telephone and say something like this here. You saw this witness across the whole world.
Yo, dude, it's my free opinion, which I have a right to.
That ain't your free opinion. Wait a minute. Your opinion ought to be weighed up by the facts. You saw this with your own eyes.
I'm talking about what I personally went through or something within my church. I'm not talking about the whole world. I'm talking about like what I went through. I don't have no control over that.
I thank the Lord for I'm going to tell you like this here. I thank the Lord for my pastor because what he did, he went through all of the protocols to save people's life until that pandemic was lifted. He didn't have no more than just the required amount of people at the church. He had the pews separated. He did everything he can. He had a machine in there after those was in there to clear the air. He had the wipes. He had everything that you could. And brother, I don't have no doubt because he saved lives, brother, by the hundreds. I'm telling you, I know this for a fact. And you know it too, but you just don't want to admit it. You know it. Go ahead.
I tell you this. These hospitals was making mistakes too, because I know that my mother suffered with Parkinson's disease. She wasn't able to go out in the public, and I made sure that I wasn't bringing it home because I was able to test for free via media every time I went to these events, went to Governor Prescott's press conference. I had to go through a test, and I always tested negative for COVID. So UIC made a mistake. That is a fact. And Roseland out here by my house was making a mistake on people and having them come in, and they came into these hospitals and was getting it and didn't have it. So that is a fact. It's just, it wasn't widely reported. But I'm the one who told my mother, don't go to UIC and take nothing because you ain't got it. You ain't even had the symptoms of it. And she did. And they admitted that they made a mistake.
My temperature, in order to get through the gate, if your temperature was 98.6 and your temperature was over 100, you was turned around at the gate. You know what I did? I devised a plan because I didn't want to think that I had it. So right before I went to work, now I ain't ashamed to say this, but I know it was wrong. And you say, well, you're supposed to be a preacher. Well, I'm just telling you what happened at that time. I drank a lot of cold water, and then when I went to work, you know, when I got there, they say, well, your temperature really is kind of low. But it wasn't high. But I got through the gate. But you know what? I had a doctor's appointment. And I was scheduled to go see the doctor anyway. So the doctor kept on wondering why I was coughing on the phone. He said, how long you had that cough? I said, I've been having this cough for 3 days. He said, well, what's your temperature? Well, I didn't want to tell him how high it was, but I told him it was high. He said, well, you know, you got all the COVID symptoms, so you can't go back to work for, until I tell you, 3 weeks. So when I called into work and told them that I couldn't go back to work, you know the first thing he wanted to know? He said, Reggie, he said, who all did you talk to today? How did you know that you had these symptoms? So I told him the truth. I said, well, my temperature is high, I'm coughing, and I got the diarrhea. And they said, who all did you talk to? I told them, I said, well, I talked to you earlier that day. They wanted to know who you come in contact with, who were you close to, well, you was close with all of the people in that control room. And so I'm telling you, what you're saying is not true. I don't even know why you're really saying that, because you saw the people that.
What part did I say wasn't true? What part? You can't name one part.
Well, all of it. About the shot. Well, the part about the shot. You're trying to say that the shot was. You're trying to say that the shot was devised like the Tuskegee experiment. That was not true.
Yeah, but the thing is, we still got to look at that, because you have to face the fact that this stuff did happen, and the country never ever made amends for it. So how can you or anyone go and take their word for it or whatever, and they haven't even made up for what they did before and everything? We're supposed to trust the same system again, and I think it's a young lady who wants to talk.
That's true what you're saying, but if you get the Tuskegee experiment, they was using us to experiment on us. They was using us like rats. That's what they was doing until they got busted. Now I worked at them. I'm trying to tell you what I'm trying to tell you, brother. I worked in manufacturing. I made one of the best-selling drugs they got out there, and if that stuff they got what they call a test, mouse safety test. If they give it to the rat, and if it kills the rat, then they can't give it to the human, because you got the basic same system inside the rat that you have inside the human. And if the rat has the mouse safety test, then they can keep on until they perfect the drug. But if that mouse safety test fails, then you can't put that drug on the market until you make the proper corrections with it. And that's why the test is so rigorous here in the United States. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm talking about, because I worked in the manufacturing. I worked in manufacturing myself, and if it's not sterile and it's not clean, it's going to fail. So you had many white people taking the shot as well as black people, but white people is their own entity. White people think the way they want to think. White people, some of the white people told me, they say, Reggie, some of my friends, they know they got COVID, but they don't want to admit it. And those are people from up in Wisconsin and the surrounding areas out here in Round Lake and all these other areas. That's where you got a lot of white people that's dominant, because white people don't want to be controlled by nobody else. They their own entity, and they're going to do it the way they want to do it.
All right.
This is a woman who wants to talk.
We're not. Hold it.
Can I say something? I'm going to say something powerful.
Hold it, because we got to get off this, y'all. We got to get off this subject.
Right.
Go ahead.
Let me say something powerful. I want to say something powerful. Now, this is my discernment. I hear what everybody's saying. My discernment is COVID was magnetic epidemic. Okay, I'm going to say this to you. If y'all sit back and really just analyze, okay, they treat it as the Ebola. They treat it as whereas though it was so transmitted. Now, here's the thing. This is wisdom that y'all have to see. They never once say, don't be sexual, don't kiss nobody. None of these things. Just think about this for a moment. Okay? Now, stay certain feet away from each other. Okay? Now, at the same time, but if y'all come together, it's magnetic. It's just like a magnet that clings to the body. Y'all are not getting it, because they know in black population, we are group, we are in the cities a lot. That's why they say it went to the black more. So y'all not really getting the whole thing. Y'all not discerning it. Because if it was that deadly, everything, they would have told you, don't kiss, don't be intimate. They never said it. The people that came across the border, none of this stuff. This was a magnetic epidemic. I'm above all this. People are not realizing that. You understand? When they have certain type of disease, it's routine against everything. They never did that. Y'all looking at it one way. So if it was that daily to come close together, why you can't talk to your mother? Why you can't go 1-on-1? But you can still have sex. You can kiss. You can do that. But you treat it as it's above tuberculosis. You treat it like that. But at the same time, you never once said, and I'm going to land it. This is so powerful what I just said to y'all. Y'all don't see it. It's magnetic. Because when you all group together, everybody got COVID. But separately, let's keep everybody separately. Okay? But we can still have sex, we can still kiss. And I'm a landing on that, and that's some wisdom y'all got to think about. I'm a landing because
All right.
I know I'm powerful.
Okay. We're going to talk about something else. I'm not
But
finna
it will come to pass.
Okay. We're going to talk about something else. I'm done talking about that now. I'm done talking about that.
I didn't mean to go off on a tangent like that,
Yeah.
Martin, but I was just trying to get people to see that if a system that's always done
Right.
us, I just use that as an example. If the system has always done you wrong in any other way, every other way almost that you can name, the country's never ever done right to us or for us. How can you trust them just on one little thing just because something else is going on? And I think that we're foolish to do it. And I go always like what you say, that whenever, I don't care what's going on in the world, whenever something is presented to Black people, we need to look at everything like Doubting Thomas because the system never ever made it right with us.
That's it, brother.
And I feel that the first step to the system making it right is through reparations, because if, Jewish people can get it, and now illegal migrants, just because their families and stuff are separated, can get it, and everybody else can get it. I mean, what's this about an education or a study? They didn't need study to, send money to Ukraine. They didn't need study to send money to Israel. They don't need a study to get ready to start this war with Venezuela that they're getting ready to start. But it seems like anytime it's getting ready, it's something down to us. Oh, it's always so much to it. Like we need a study, like we need that. No, just cut the check.
Because Roosevelt, they've always been trying to control us. They try to control our fashion. They want to control our music. They want to tell us how to raise our kids and can't even raise their own kids right. Mm-hmm. They've always wanted to control us. That's why they want to study it, how we're going to spend our money. And you got Black people talking about, well, they're going to mess it up. I want to ask these so-called Black educated people, how can you tell somebody what to do with their money? Just like how can you tell somebody what to do with their link card? They don't want no peanut butter and jelly sandwich. They don't want that lab-grown food. They want pizza and pork chops and whatever. They can buy whatever they want to eat because, Martin, I'm like this. If you make a deposit into your savings account in your bank, right? Your bank can't tell you how to spend your money that you put into that savings account. And you shouldn't have to pay to get it out that savings account, right? But America wants to tell Black people how to do this and how to do that, and they can't even tell their own kids how to do stuff. The way some of these other folks' kids walk out the house, Black people always complaining about the Black kids walking out their house. Look at how some of these other folk kids walk out the house. And you know what? They're not writing books and complaining about it. It's a fashion statement. But when Black people do it, it's disrespectful. It's the word I want to use. I can't get it off the top of my tongue. But it's a nasty look. It's a crazy look. They shouldn't be, and they got Black people saying it. We need to spend less time on fashion and let's spend time on getting these kids' minds straight, getting them to think, not shooting at each other and shooting up their own neighborhood, but to change that narrative. And yes, there are more Black men in college than there are in prison, but the media won't show that like they should because that's too much like right. America don't want to be right. America, we don't need a study. We need you to pay up. Pay us what we want. No more studying. It's nothing to study here. Pay us for our free labor that we gave you all for over 400 and some years, instead of building these private prisons and want to put us back in them and reinstitute slavery. We're not going this time.
Mm-hmm. But that man said, give me liberty or give me death. So let me say this, and I'm going to close it out, y'all. Anytime the white man give you something, No, white men don't easily give you something. He make you work for it. You got to go through the checks and balances. Even public aid is free, but you got to go through so much stuff. Give this up and give this up. Do this, do this, do this. You got to have a social security card. You got to have your ID. You got to do that. Anytime he gives us something, we ought to take a double take at it. Look at it 2 or 3 times. Like the telephones, the government phones, and the government tablets. Now, why would the government give you a free phone? And they in business. This is a capitalist country. Why would they give you a free phone? They must be listening in. It's got to be a free tablet, listening in. So we got to be careful.
Read the fine print on those free phones because they also give you cancer.
Right.
And they're also made with toxic chemicals that you touch and you don't understand.
Right.
I just had to let you know about that one.
So
and who gave you all those free phones and tablets? Obama. Need I say more?
Mm-hmm. So I'm saying and I agree with Roosevelt. I haven't said, hold on, brother preacher. I'm gonna let you talk. I'm not saying COVID wasn't real. I had COVID 3 times, but I never took that shot. I wasn't gonna take it. Now, well, you said, well, Martin, do you believe in medical science? I believe in medical science, but it was too soon for me. I wasn't gonna let them put nothing in my body I know nothing about. Didn't do it. I did. I promise God I didn't do it. Well, some folks told me, well, you don't know what's in the food you're eating, but if you eat it, I'm gonna go where the white folks get their shot at. You know, listen, I remember the Tuskegee experiment, reading about it. And that's all I had in the back of my mind. Martin, you're a fool if you let them inject you. I wasn't going, period. I wasn't going at all. I didn't care what job, whatever. Martin Johnson, wasn't going. Some people that took that shot, they died mysteriously. I know a couple of people that died in their sleep. Now, and they had a research. People had like a gel, it's like a gel in their blood in their vein. But anyway, that's another story. But what I'm saying is,
wow,
white people don't give you stuff that easily. Y'all see how hard it is for them to give us reparations? Why they don't just give us reparations? This is supposed to be the richest country in the world, nation in the world. Why they don't give it to us? Think about it. Listen, anytime a race of people, and I'm going to say it publicly, put guns in your community and drugs in your community on purpose, knowing what it can do. Now, you're right, sir. They don't tell nobody to get high. They don't tell nobody to pick up their gun and shoot, but you put it in a impoverished community. That's nothing but you testing it. And I always say, you put 2 starving lions in the cage, what they gonna do? They're gonna eat each other. So if you put some drugs and guns in a community that's already affected by gang banging, drugs, prostitution, burglary, armed robbery, carjacking, what do you think gonna happen? What kind of people that will put some drugs in your community and knowing the devastation if you use it, what could happen? That's an evil person. Those evil people, evil. What kind of person that come up with an abortion, suck the baby out like just nothing out of your womb? What kind of, I'm just thinking in my mind, let me take the glasses off. And I'm not talking about Democrat, Republican. I'm talking about period. What's right? You know? Well, you say, well, Martin, can't nobody tell me what to do with my body, and you're definitely right. But it's not for you to take a life. It's not up to you to decide whether a person should live or not, especially in your own body. But let me say this, people. We dealing with some dirty people that don't like us. They all of a sudden, when the migrants came to this country, they created jobs that wasn't there. Or we're not hiring. They created jobs. These people, white folks, I said it. Don't like black people. You even got. Let me break this down to y'all too. I want to break something down in the simplest form too. You could take a white person that's crazy about Martin Johnson, will give me the shirt off his back. But you could take that same white person that don't like Roosevelt and Marcus, can't stand their guts, would do anything to cut their necks off or whatever. Now, do you consider that person being racist? Now think about it. Now they good to me.
I would say so.
I thank you. So
Still, huh?
black people
would say
gotta
so,
learn.
yeah.
You could be nice to me, but this other person, you could show 100% racism toward this other person. We got to
Like
remember
a white
that
woman
person.
could like you and date you or
Right.
marry you or whatever,
Right.
something to still go out here and call another black woman the N-word. So that doesn't
Yeah.
mean nothing.
Don't mean nothing because they got a black
I've
baby.
experienced it in the media.
Don't because they got a
I've
black baby.
experienced it in the media.
Hold it, y'all. Because they got a black baby, that don't mean nothing either. That don't mean
Mhm.
nothing. Trust me. That don't mean nothing. The white folks always had black babies. They were always running in the slave house and having sex with the slaves and getting them pregnant and not taking care of the baby. Not even acknowledging the baby. So it ain't nothing new. King Solomon said there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing. My father told me before he died, God bless his soul, he said, hey, the name changed, but the face stay the same. We can call a dog something else 10 years from now, but it's still a dog. We just changed the name. Still got the same features.
Yep.
So I'm telling y'all, I'm not doubting that COVID, I'm not doubting COVID wasn't real. I had COVID. About 3 or 4, I had it before it even got popular. What I'm saying is, I didn't mess with that shot, period. I wasn't going to mess with it. I was, well, maybe once they get a good vaccine that we know is working, and even with the vaccine, they still didn't guarantee that you couldn't die. So they didn't guarantee that. And so that's what I was waiting on. Now, I believe in medical science. I've took a lot of shots, but that one, I wasn't going to take that shot. I thought about the Tuskegee experiment. I ain't used no excuses. And everybody that I knew that took that shot had some type of health problems later on in life, maybe 2 or 3 months. Had some type of health problem. And that's me speaking. That's real talk. So the sister got on here profound. Now they told us to stay 6 feet away, don't sit by each other and separate it. But she right. They didn't tell you don't have no sex now. And she right. I never thought about that. I never thought of. So I'm not.
They covered up the water fountain.
Yeah, right. I'm not saying that it's not real. I'm not saying it's a hoax. I'm not saying that. Trust me. A lot of people died, and they put on their death certificate COVID. And some of it probably wasn't COVID. They probably killed them. We lost millions of people, and now we got millions of people coming across the border. Come on now. Y'all know what community was hardest hit during COVID? It was the black community. First, it was the white. Ain't it strange? I remember when it first came out, people, it was white people getting it. Then all of a sudden, blacks started getting it. It went from whites to blacks, then I think to the Mexican people. It was mighty strange. I said, look at this. That's a pattern going on.
And you know why? Black people were getting on TV saying it wasn't affecting them. And voila, overnight, that changed. A lot of people think that COVID was man-made, and that's why they didn't take that shot. It took me a minute, to think about it. I did get that first shot out in Dalton, but it took me a long time to get that shot. And the first shot didn't bother me. The second shot, when I went to Jackson Park Hospital, it hurt like heck in my arm. And it made me feel a little depressed. It made me feel a little sleepy, but it didn't affect me the way it affected some people. So far, it hasn't affected me. I took it anyway because I looked at it like, hey, you had to take a vaccine for the measles and anything else. But the strange part about me, I ain't never took the flu shot because I don't believe in that. Because I believe that was known for making people sick. They come out with all type of diseases, Martin. I think back in the late 90s, they came out with SARS.
Mm-hmm.
It came from China, and it was killing people. And Ebola made its way to America, but it didn't spread widespread. But black people were getting on TV when COVID first hit, talking about it ain't hit us. And overnight, somebody said, hey, we got to make sure them Negroes get it. Population control.
Okay.
They couldn't shoot us up.
All right, people.
They had to do that.
I'm gonna leave it right there, and just food for thought. I appreciate y'all. I'm getting a little tired, Marcus and Roosevelt, and Old Timer, and it's kind of hard when you work full time. Get on here, and it take a lot of energy. Roosevelt know it takes a lot of energy. Marcus know too as well, a lot of energy. So I appreciate you
Even
guys.
though you always have a good show.
Right. So people, be careful.
But,
Go ahead, go ahead. What you got to say now, Old Timer? Go ahead.
well, I mean, you got an excellent show, and I disagree with the brother that a sister, whoever it was, that said that we're wasting time. I disagree with that. But I mean, we have to look at we understand down through all of this time how the Caucasian people feel about black people. We know the double standard that they have and how they started to turn with the DEI program and different things. But they fighting for what they standing up to believe. So we have to fight for what we believe. And they seem to be not having a problem coming out saying that the black people are exalting themselves over us so we can't get no jobs. They'll cry that. They'll say whatever they want to say and try to get stuff. And Trump right now is saying he's giving each serviceman $1,700 for to help them with their situation, because of some whatever it is he can come up with. So they don't have no problem trying to help their own people. They're going to do that. What we have is issues that we can't be critical on ourselves on, and this reparations is something that we can't afford to have a disagreement on. Now, people want to say, well, he's going to get on the TV to watch the Super Bowl. Well, we probably are going to do that. Because they're going to see us going in there coming out with the big screen. So people turn around and use that as a separation part. We can't allow that to happen. We have to have the one person to speak for us, and we have to line up behind those people. Those people lining up behind Trump, and we have to have somebody to speak for us. Now, Obama. I heard somebody say something about Obama. We can't really continue to push Obama in the ground like what we're doing. The man was the first black president. Well, brother, I mean, you got to establish more than those facts, man, because these white people, when you look in that White House and you look in your city government down in Chicago and you see all those white faces on the county board that's plastered on the walls, that was mayors before Harold Washington became. Man, that ought to send chills through your body to let you know that you was not counted as nothing. And then all of a sudden you see Harold Washington. Then you see a couple of people that took over after him and so forth. And then you see the lady.
Old Timer. I'm 57 years old, brother. I don't care about the first black this or black that. If they ain't doing enough for the community, I'd rather from them not even be in there, period. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, brother. Hold on. Yeah, I can say it. No. I can say it, brother. I'm a Democrat. Hold on, brother. I'm going to call. Listen, I'm going to call this mess out, bro, because it's a black face. Hold on, brother. We got a black mayor. Do you think the black mayor is representing Chicago black people? Do you believe? I know you don't live here. Do you believe that black mayor is representing black people? No. No.
Well, he's speaking about black though.
But that
He's
ain't
speaking
nothing.
about
That,
black.
brother,
He's
listen,
saying things about-
listen, brother. That don't do nothing for us. We need resources, brother. Listen, I guarantee you, and if I was a betting man, I would bet $100 a night. There's probably not one migrant out there that's sleeping on the ground, don't have nowhere to go. But I guarantee you,
because
put
of
my
the
life
laws
on it.
that they have.
Yes, but I can
Because
put
of
my
the laws
life
that
on
they
it.
have
There's some
for the-
black
for the-
folks out there.
Right, but they have laws for entertaining the migrants. So they have laws on
brother.
the books
Well,
that they have
okay,
to go by.
okay. Listen to this, bro. They ain't putting no work in this country. They ain't putting no work in.
Well, okay. All right, okay.
They don't even belong.
Hold on. You name me one
Okay.
thing. Name me one thing that they put work in this country. You name me something that they done in this country deserving what they getting. Nothing. You can't. I can't. Let's be honest with you. Brother, I'm tired of looking at these. Listen, brother old timer, I'm tired of looking at these black faces in high places and they ain't doing nothing for the people. White people gonna look out for white people. I don't care if it's Democrat or Republicans in office, white people gonna get something out of it. They gonna get something out of it. We the only fools, yeah, I said fools, that give our vote away and don't get nothing but a photo op or a line dance or come to our congregation. Oh, he cool. They play a little instrument or something. And that's all we get. Y'all know I'm not lying. Ain't no, listen. We got key black positions here in the city of Chicago right now. Look at we got the highest taxes in the black community right now. We got a black mayor. We got a black, Tony Preckwinkle over the Cook County. We had Timothy Evans for the chief judge. We had a black state's attorney, a black superintendent. We got 20 black aldermen, men and women. We got state reps. Come on now. These are black faces in high places. And look, nobody has the answer why are taxes so high in Inglewood, Lawndale, South Shore? Why? All in the black community. It ain't like that in Mount Greenwood, Beverly. Some got to give, brother. I'm talking about black faces. Got some powerful key positions here in the city. They're calling themselves black. See, y'all don't like, I know y'all don't like this type of talk.
Well, maybe you can get Anthony Bill on your show and ask him some questions.
No, maybe I
Bill
need
should have all of that.
maybe I need to get Mayor Brandon on the show and get some answers.
No, Brandon don't know enough. But Bill know every part of the government that runs the city of Chicago. He can answer all of those questions. You need to get him on the show. Anthony Bill, he's the one that's got all the knowledge, and he can tell you everything. I'm more than sure he can.
Okay. Well, I'm just telling you,
So if
listen.
you can, get him on there.
Old
get him on
timer.
there, and
I understand what you're saying. I'll try my best. But I tell you this, I don't care if they black now. I'm over that first black this and black. I'm over that. I'm done with that. That gets us in trouble all the time.
Brother Martin, I love you what you're saying, but I think I respectfully disagree.
That ain't truth.
It's off with Hal Washington.
Okay.
But he came in with a divided government.
Okay.
Let me tell you something.
Hold on.
I'm
Let me
here in
no. You
Okay,
can listen,
go
brother. Listen. I know
ahead.
Harold Washington done something for black people. I was still living. I know that. I definitely know that. But right now, Brandon Johnson is the mayor. Let's talk about him. This is 2025. We're going into 2026. Let's talk about John. What is he doing for black people? Or what has he done? Now, Harold Washington is dead and gone, and he was a great mayor. Done a lot of great things for black people. But this mayor that you know, that I know, tell me, what is it that he's done for black people? Can you help me out? Just help me out.
I mean, I would think that he's standing. I think that he's standing for to try to pass the bills that will try to get black people back to the position where they're supposed to be. But he just don't have the firepower to be able to do it. He's not going to be able to do it.
Okay.
Because too many other things.
Brother, you sound like one of them Democrats like that. And I'm one too. Listen, bro. He gave out $1 billion, over $1 billion, man. He had the power to do that. So I ain't making no excuse for him. And it was for the migrants and not black folks. So don't tell me he can't just make no policy for just us alone. Did it for the migrants.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay.
I'm just being honest with you, old timer. Let's keep it real, bro. Listen. I'm a Democrat, and I'm gonna call them Democrats out on their mess. They need to be called out. See, some of us, when Flip Red get on here or Republicans get on here and call these Democrats out, y'all get mad. They need to be called out. That's why people are not being treated fair. Because our own people doing us in. Real talk. Our own people are doing us in, bro. Somebody got to call this mess out, old timer. We can't afford to wait 2 years and 4 years. We can't do it. I'm being honest with you, bro. I'm tired of all these black faces in high places and they ain't doing nothing. I would love to see a black man doing great, especially in the political world. But if we get in there, we do this every year. Give him a chance. He just got there. He gonna happen. Listen, the migrants just got here and they getting all these benefits. They just got here.
Right.
We the one crying. Our black grandmothers, the senior people, they ain't gonna be able to afford these houses they living in, brother. Taxes going up 100%, 85%. You know, most of their homes are probably paid for anyway. And they allow these white folks to do this, and these black politicians are quiet? Come on now.
Well, I mean, they know that this was coming down the line. So there's nothing they can do about it. I mean, they can't go back and regulate those machines. They set the prices and got the machine, and all they're going to do is tell you is that for many years that you didn't have a property tax increase.
Okay.
And,
brother old timer, who is the party for black folks? Tell me. Which party's for black people?
Democrat.
Okay. Well, hold on. When they going to start acting like it? When are they going to start acting like it? When are the Democrats going to start acting like it if they for us? You tell me. I want to know. You're older than I am. You've been around longer than I have. Probably got more life experience. Ain't no problem you do. Tell me, when are the Democrats going to do right by black people here in the city of Chicago? I ain't even talking about across the northern state. I'm talking about right here. I'm talking about right here, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Local. I'm talking about right here.
Well, I mean, they're doing it now, but it's just being seen that if they wasn't doing it, it'd be much worse than what it is now.
Well,
but they're trying their best.
They're trying their best to what? What are they trying to do?
To try to keep it. Well, to try to hold on to what they got, because people is rising up against them because they don't have enough money to give everybody, and so they want to take away from what the Democrats is able to do and switch it over to the Republicans so they can get a bigger part of the pie. That's why you have a lot of these different fighting factions up in there, because they know that by right the Democrat people should be getting their part, but they keep on increasing.
So you telling me this Democratic Party that's supposed to be in love with black people? Have you been in the city lately?
Yeah, been out there.
Tell me what you see. What do you see when you come in the city? Be honest with me.
Well, I see the downtown functioning. in the neighborhoods that I go in.
What you see in the
I see
neighborhood?
new
What you see in the neighborhood?
I see new banisters. I see new railings. I can go up over there on Loomis, go down 75th Street, go down on the east side. I see a lot of things, and I'm wondering myself,
What
where's
things?
all of
Hold
this
on. What do you
shooting?
see? Hold on. Tell us, what do you see? What do you see? I want to know what you
Well,
see.
actually, you don't see that many people hanging around outside like they used to. Before, you used to see people hanging around when you used to
Okay.
go over there on Roosevelt and
Okay.
Independence over there. In that
Well,
area, you see a lot of people out. But now you go through neighborhoods and it just is quiet. And, in some kind of way, we find a way to keep some stuff going. But when you ride through there all the time, you can get out your car, go in the store and come out and do whatever you got to do and go wherever you want to go. I'm wondering myself, how's all this stuff happening?
Mm.
I'm wondering myself.
so is that a good thing? Is that a good thing or bad
It's
thing?
a good thing.
Okay.
It's a good thing because some kind of way that we ducking and dodging and taking advantage of stuff during the daytime, when you go through there or go through there during the modest evening time, you don't hardly see anything. And
So-
this is before Trump got in office. I've been traveling through
No.
Chicago.
Hold it now. Let's leave Trump out of this now, because we know Trump ain't got nothing to do with Chicago politics now. Come
Well,
on
I'm saying
now.
that people
know.
will run
Let-
because of Trump.
Let's
You talking about they
let's
running
leave that
around because
alone
of
now. Because I see that's a point that Democrats love to use, and they want to point the finger at Trump, but they ain't gonna point the finger how why are they not saying nothing about these high taxes in Inglewood? You know, so when they raise the taxes, can you agree with this? Can you agree with this? If they're raising
If you
taxes,
look at it,
come on now, let's
go ahead.
let's listen.
Go ahead.
If you're a preacher and if you honest, you can agree what I'm trying to say. You know, when they raise taxes over 100%, brother, what they're trying to do. They're trying to push black people out. You know it and I know it. Quit. Come on now, preacher. You know what they're doing. You heard that brother. What's that brother, that preacher brother say? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. You heard what that preacher brother said. I ain't never seen him stand up against Brandon. He said, my 46,000 people that I represent, they don't agree with that tax hike. They don't want that. And that brother, I ain't never heard him publicly say anything against Brandon, but he had to make a stand for his community. Them taxes are too
right, but you
high.
already know that it's too late now, though.
No, brother,
Right, but you already know it's too late.
it ain't too late, brother. Listen, any law or policy that you don't like here in America, you have a right to protest. It ain't never too late to protest, brother.
You can protest, but you got it's too
No,
late. Whatever they take you now, you got to pay it.
With that mindset you got, we ain't gonna win nothing. You supposed to be. Hold on. You supposed to be spiritual, brother. You don't operate on things. Hold it. You don't operate on what you see. You operate on what you believe. You walk by faith, not by sight. So listen, a death could be on a person. But if you believe God can bring you out of that. I might not see it. Now, come on now. Listen, we ain't get this far in life being no dummy now. Trust me. Last caller. Come on, Buck.
Okay.
Last caller.
All
Come
right.
on. Come on, Buck.
Yeah, man, I was asleep until my man was doing this Lincoln Perry again over here. Brother, damn, you say you're a believer of God and your faith should be totally in that instead of trusting in people. You seem to think these Democrats is your Messiah, man. Like on was that Wednesday when Jesus' birthday or we celebrate America, you're gonna see a white Democrat coming from under the tree for you. And that ain't no answer. See, the thing is, we put our faith in the people that never gave a damn about us. And you keep on practicing, you might as well do a conversion for them because we don't have no friends in America. We got people that's figureheads and symbolism. When they had a Democrat convention, they had people that's begging the stallion, Oprah Winfrey, and people ain't got a damn. Malcolm said years ago, we the only people have singers and comedians to represent us in political atmosphere. We don't have great thinkers or people with knowledge and logic We look at it as somebody with a popularity or face, and then we go along with a white man like Bill Clinton playing a saxophone, and then doing the same thing in the White House as anybody else, and they seem to forget he was messing with a woman. And there, what you call it was immoral if you were such a believer. Your Democrat president, Clinton, was adultering in the White House against his wife. But nobody seemed to worry about that. And they got different moral standards for white people than we do for our own people. And it's unfortunate that we look at each other, we try to be so hard measuring our own people, but we give other people so many breaks, so many chances. Oh, they're going to get it right. And then the politicians, you know, this is a system that was built. When they made the Constitution, they had slave owners that wrote the Constitution. And all they did later on before Lincoln got shot was made amendments to allow us to have rights. Then we gave them rights to white women, gay people, and every other foreigner that ever came to America. Black people have never benefited from the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment, and we keep on giving our rights away to other people. The Democrat Party will let foreigners come over above us. They will let gay people come above us. They will let, if you got grandchildren, little girls going in the bathroom with men calling themselves a woman. These are the sick people. They're giving money. The Democrats trying to get money for young 13, 14-year-olds to get sexual changes without consent from their parents. These are some sick people. You got to think about morality in people, and the politicians ain't no moral person, no moral standard. You got to have people, if you're a believer, Mr. Oldtimer, you need people who are like-minded, and y'all need to work together for a betterment of our people. Ain't no politician, a pimp, and a preacher, all in the same thing. They're all hustling you. It's a matter of how long before you catch on to it. And I said, leaving my plane like that, God bless everybody.
All right. Hey, got 5 on it. Why don't you call in? I need him to call in, him or her, wherever you are. First of all, it's a lot of come across this podcast that I don't agree with. I don't get mad at people because people don't agree with me. Listen, this is the only place that you can go that you got Democrats and Republicans on here. Most shows they can't even get along, sit in the same room. Won't you call in since you you got all the answers? Since you trolling, got 5 on it too. Call in. You know the number. I'd love to hear from you. I don't know if you're a male or female. You're a keyboard warrior. Come on and talk to us. Get on this telephone and give me and Oldtimer some solutions to what black folk. You're probably not even black. Yeah, you're probably not even black. Yeah, real talk. Probably not even black. I guarantee you're probably not. Call in. Listen, I'm probably one of the most patient persons. I tell you publicly, you don't have to agree with me when you come on here. I'm listening to all sides. But I'm going to stand on the truth. That's something I'm going to do. I'm not going to be wavering on the truth. And I know we're not being treated right in Chicago. I know that. I'm old enough to know that. I'm 57 years old. I'm old enough to know that. With all these high political positions. Look at our schools. You go in the Spanish neighborhood, they got brand new schools, look like universities. Come in our school, come in our neighborhood. Yeah, and these people on here talking
Brother
stuff.
Martin?
Yeah.
Okay, I heard what the brother said. So what he chose to do was he chose to bring up some issues that the Caucasian people are standing up for their rights. They standing up for their rights as American citizens. When he started talking about transgender and people trying to say, he knows that those are basically white-run entities that's promoting that. You don't have any black people that's promoting that, but everybody promotes the right to live. Now I challenge the brother. All you have to do. You need to read the Human Rights Initiative. The Human Rights Initiative out of Belgium that's a code that all of the countries conduct their affairs under. You have to read that. And they all sign off on it. So you have to read what's all going to come.
Let me ask you
Huh?
a question. You got grandchildren, right?
Yes.
So if your grandchild, son or daughter come and say, you know, I'm gonna become a boy or girl, they finna switch up. What you wouldn't tell them to try to stop them? And the
Yeah, I would start talking to them. Yeah, I would talk to
Okay.
them. But
You wouldn't say, "Oh, they do what you got to do." Then God bless you.
no,
It's
it's not
a lot of things
not
they
that simple.
feel like it don't matter. That it wouldn't be no big deal for you. That you couldn't listen, man. They're giving the kids the right to make those decisions. Look at the basketball player. You know, I'm reading this right here in the Chicago area. Dwayne Wade encouraged his 12 or 13-year-old son to become a woman. You know, if he changed his mind to 5 years from now, he went too far. I mean, this is crazy. I know, and not saying that's going too far. You was a young man at one time, and you probably made some decisions you probably didn't want to follow through when you got older. So it's like just, you know, they putting politicians are playing with your family. It used to be you could discipline your family within your closed doors of your home. Now they would call the DCFS on you if you're being too serious of father. If you tell your child you ain't going nowhere, give them a spanking, and they have you locked up in the morning. You going to jail.
Because we have adopted with the white code.
So-called Belgium rights, they can invade your privacy. Inside, you have the government is raising the children today in America. We don't have no say so. The curriculum in these school systems is a joke. Teachers are nothing but babysitters. Policemen are nothing but garbage men picking up garbage. That's I know personally how to refer to our community. All they do is come and pick up garbage. They don't do nothing to help our community. The police department. It's an entity what we need, but they really never really report nothing. As far as investigations, like I say, Martin been on the crime scene for some years. When they do investigation, unless it's one of their own or somebody, a white dignitary, or somebody to get hurt, they go and send everybody, all the top investigators, all of them gonna do ballistic reports. They gonna make a thorough investigation. They come out there, they might have to do it like with a canvas area, knock on a few doors. Did you see anything? And the case closed. Man, please, I know how they get down out here. They don't. Black life don't matter, like they say. That's another paradox. When they got three lesbians talking about Black Lives Matter. What the hell they got to do with Black lives? And they haven't had one of them that be black. And George Soros is a guy. They always have big money behind his foolishness. The thing you got to know, old timer, even the groups we used to participate, the NAACP ain't even run by black people, man. We've been bamboozled. We've been hoodwinked, man. Everything we think we got control of, we don't have nothing. All we is a bunch of people complaining to the white people about what we need to have done, and they go in one ear after the other. Even since the Moors was in Spain and Portuguese in the 1500s, they were the first they tried to enslave because they didn't want us living that large and becoming what we are. You think the white supremacy system gonna help us to change our circumstances? They don't give a damn. That's being your Democratic Party. If they got a black face in there, if they have a Brandon Johnson who's a black man, who always tell you can look at him and see a black man.
Devil.
You can look at Brandon and see a black man, but every time he got to bring that up, oh, I'm a black man. Well, sure, they know your situation, man, but you don't feel that safe that you ain't got 100+ policemen watching you and your kids every day. So don't tell me that it's bad as T.J. Jakes got a big church and he got armed guards with machine guns up in there. What the hell? If you got God on your side, why you got to be armed out there? Even in Islam, a lot of brothers wasn't armed because they was protecting each other because we don't have to kill each other to make our point. It's a problem when we look at those people that's teaching our children, they're teaching us and the values that we even have, even you old timer, even in our day when we was young, the stuff they tell you, all this golden rule and you're supposed to tell the truth, and then you think they gonna tell the truth? They don't give a damn. You go to court, and I've been there. The state's attorney, if you're a complaining witness, they want to win cases. They gonna get you to lie, or if you saw or didn't see, you gonna tell that lie so they get it right. Everybody gonna rehearse it till they get it right. The police, but everybody. So that's how I go. It's all a gimmick, and we are the prey. The reason they didn't want Trump to come into the Chicago area because the prison, the crime, everything is big business. It's a multi-million-dollar, probably billion-dollar operation in Illinois. We got Stateville. We got all penitentiaries, even Taylorville, all these little small jails where these towns depend on us, people we send them from Chicago and our areas to support their town because they get money for that by private institutions that own jails. They know by 8th grade if your ass going to jail because you can't read and write, what else you gonna do? And then the hypocrisy of everything is when they tell us don't say no to drugs and say no to violence, and they keep pouring guns and drugs in our community. We don't got no planes, we ain't got no ships, and we don't have the wherewithal to come up. These kids can't even buy a hamburger out here walking around with a AR-14, AR-15 and such, and all these AKs and Dracos, and they can't pay for a hamburger helper out their pocket. But yet somehow they know which train to go to. It's too much of a coincidence for not to be an inside job. It's like you sometimes you're a believer in God, brother Old Timer. You have to drop on your knees and thank God to give you some wisdom, because this don't make no sense, man. Because the way you talk, it's logic to some of these things, but the situation we in is not because we want it this way. They are going to keep a foot on our neck until they get to whatever they want. Only God can intervene in this situation, and that's unbelievable at that. And pray that one day you can wake up and see the light, and don't put Lincoln Perry, put him out your bag. Don't ever show it. Look at this picture again, player. Good night. Peace to everybody.
All right, people. That's it, y'all. I got to get out of here.
You
I
already
gotta
know
go.
what it is.
Beautiful.
Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth
Unedited.
and shame the
Make
devil.
sure you see the
I
picture.
love being
Make sure you
black.
see the picture.
Okay.
Make
I would-
sure you see the picture.
Okay.
I just sent it, okay, to
Okay.
on Facebook.
Okay.
So you
Thank
can
you.
see.
Okay.
And
I-
your and your Christmas gift is on the way.
Okay. I ain't worried about it. Thank
I
you,
love
sister.
all.
Love you. All right, people. Thank
I
you
want
for
you to
tuning
see
in.
it.
It was a great
All right,
show.
God bless you. Merry
God
Christmas
bless
to you.
you.
When you coming back on again?
I'm gonna try to come on tomorrow night. It's gonna be late though. It's gonna be late because I'm working tomorrow.
It's okay.
Okay, I'll be on late tomorrow, so I'm letting y'all know. And Monday, I got a special show. I'm interviewing 2 lawyers Monday at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. I'm interviewing 2 lawyers, so look out for that. We're talking about prostitution and all that. That's what we're talking about. Because they have a lot of stings and people get caught in these prostitution rings and stuff like that. We're going to talk about that. 2 attorneys. So that's going to be a great show. Hopefully, I'll see y'all Monday too as well. Peace out. Peace out.
All right.
All right.